is going on, you guys? My name is Kyle Solkar and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got the 2021 BMW G80 M3, the amazing 480 horsepower M3 that is the absolute newest, latest, and greatest from BMW. With that being said, we are going to make some more content on this later, but today I wanted to do a quick little walk around as we just got the car in at Elmer's BMW. So that being said, guys, let's just take a look at all of the new attributes, starting with, obviously, as you guys I'm sure have noticed, the huge front grills. Now in person, when the car is low and nice and looking great in this Brooklyn gray color, I do think the grills look fantastic. Now I know there's gonna be a lot of people in the comments who don't agree with that, and that is totally okay, but over time, just like the F80 chassis, people will learn to love this car for the technology and the amazing, just kind of forward-thinking BMW has to offer. So you can see the amazing lights up here. The halo design has completely went away from the traditional, I mean, you can't even really call them halos anymore. And you've got these nice little BMW laser lights and the nice little light bars underneath them. More of the honeycomb pattern, but a complete new design from BMW. This is not anything like anything they've built before, except for the, 4 Series that just came out. So I do think this looks a little bit better. Instead of having the honeycomb kind of like weird pattern that they have on the 3 Series that's got this nice slotted look, which I actually like a lot. It looks very aggressive, very mean, and just different overall. Got this kind of like two-tone look right here, some gloss black against the Brooklyn gray. A really aggressive front bumper, just like you'd expect from an M3, but something that hasn't been in previous cars is this right here, which is this kind of indentation, which I would almost say takes place of what was previously always on the M cars from the E46, E90X, and then the F8X chassis, which was a power bulge. Now they've actually went away with it, and now you've just got this indentation. So people are like, why is this indented? Well, this hood has to be different in some way, and I think that's what BMW decided was the way that they were gonna go with. Looking around here, you got these beautiful wheels right here. It's kind of like a rendition of the competition package wheel that was on the F80 chassis, but kind of the next level of that CSL design that was introduced on the E46 M3. Finished in gloss black. I prefer the two-tone wheels in these cars, but this looks really nice, especially against the Brooklyn gray. This is kind of like a Nardo color with almost like a little bit of a blue tint. Moving to the side, you got more of BMW's notorious vents, which are proving to be less and less functional every single year with the new models, but we've got the M3 designation there. First time they've had an actual badge. This is almost reminding me of my Z4 where it had a BMW badge right here. Typically you get a little indentation with a nice little glossy M3 grille, but this is an actual badge that stands alone that says M3. Not totally sold on that, but it is what it is. That's what the car has. Moving down here, you've got more of that two-tone look. You've got the gloss black on the bottom, kind of just like the front bumper matching there. Nothing really crazy new here. New door handles with comfort access. Mirrors that are a little bit less aggressive than the F80, so not a huge fan of it, but not bad, not bad. You still have that kind of pass-through, which is really cool. Moving down, you've got this really aggressive cut right here. Literally, it just seems like a parallel or a 90-degree angle right there with that hip bulge, but looks really good. Fits a huge tire really nicely. Now going back here, you've got more of the same kind of two-tone look, but a really aggressive rear diffuser from the factory, which is cool. You got this quad exhaust that's separated with huge tips. This kind of M3 CS, if you consider the F80 chassis, little notch right here that matches the notch in the carbon fiber roof, which is super cool. And just a really good looking rear end with the new updated OLED taillights. Obviously you got your M3 designation there and kind of the standard set of BMW components, but really good looking. Reflectors, all that good stuff, sensors, and the camera just like you'd expect. Now going up to the top real quick, you could see right here you got the carbon fiber roof. Only difference that instead of going just indented like the F80, this one actually has these shark fin looking kind of things, which look pretty cool. But with that being said, let's hop underneath the hood and take a look real quick. Like I said, we will go more in depth on this car in the future, and I do plan to own one myself. However, I want to give you guys a first look here. All right, so underneath the hood, you've got a 480 horsepower, 3-liter inline-6 motor that produces about 406 pound-feet of torque, which is sure to put you back in your seat. Of course, on this car, it's paired with something a little bit special that even if you hate the grills, you have to love about this one, and that is a 6-speed manual transmission. So with that being said, let's hop inside and take a look. Alright you guys, so looking inside of the G80 M3, you see this glorious ZHP shift knob that was introduced on the BMW 330i ZHP back in 2000 and 2 or 3, one of those 2 years, and it stayed these whole tests of time, and it looks absolutely beautiful. Now, if you watch my previous videos on the F80 chassis, I am a proponent or a guy who likes the dual clutch, but I do love a manual, and I really appreciate the fact that BMW is keeping them in these cars. And if you're not going to daily drive it, then it's an amazing feature, and if you are and you're a manly man, then it's perfect for you. And I actually look forward to driving this car because it's going to let me know whether or not this car suits it perfectly or not. But otherwise, you got these really comfortable seats. You got 2 options. You got the M carbon bucket seats, or you've got these kind of standard seats. M carbon buckets are about a $3,500 option, so I figure this is what most people are going to go with because this is more of a daily driver. You got all your seat controls on the left side, a bunch of different things like a USB port in the middle. You got cup holders right here, a different layout than the F80. Everything's finished in this nice, beautiful carbon, completely new screen, new iDrive, new everything, thinner trim here, little less bulky all around. This car does not have the full leather, but it does have really nice supple leather in a lot of places. Obviously, you got your rest here, beautiful seats, Alcantara, and you have little things around the whole car that are just accented really well, like this right here in the carbon fiber, which is an accent, or a package rather, and that is super, super cool. But other than that, nothing crazy out of the ordinary. You got Harman Kardon sound, which is really cool, but nothing absolutely outrageous in this car. But you do have a lot of things that no M3 has had before, like the LCD display up here, and a lot of just really cool things. So with that being said, let's take it for a quick little drive around and see how this thing performs and feels. All right, so putting the car into gear, you've got a really grabby clutch, and honestly a transmission that feels way tighter than the F80 did right out of the gate. I know I'm not driving this spirited at all, and I'm just driving it around the parking lot because I don't want to put any miles on the thing, but it really feels kind of like the E46 is coming back in this car. And it's a really nice and tight gearbox. It seems a little shorter than the F80 was also, and less of a just 3 Series with the manual slapped in it. So I might actually really be a proponent to, I'm not even sure if I'm using that word correctly, but I might be a guy who likes to use a manual in this car and maybe even consider ordering mine in a manual. But it really feels nice. You've got your different drive modes, of course. I know I'm not doing you guys any favors by not driving this too much, but we've got plenty of time with this car coming up soon. But overall, feels really nice, really comfortable. I'm not gonna lie to you, these seats are pretty nice and hold you really well, and are kind of stiff at the same time. So I'm curious with the carbon bucket seats, how that's gonna feel. But really nice cockpit. Everything's finished really well, even without the full leather. You've got leather everywhere. Really nice steering wheel. You got your M1 and M2 buttons up top, which is one of my favorite features of the car. You can transform it from an efficient car that's really low throttle response, really loose steering, to an absolute beast. So that's great for track use or just spirited driving. You have an amazing amount of really cool features all around. A lot of horsepower from the factory. Now even a 6-speed manual transmission, which literally only Porsche offers on their GT cars, but this car starts around 70 grand. I think this particular car is $75,000, so you really can't go wrong when choosing the 2021 M3. All right, you guys, so the car is in break-in mode still, so it's not gonna get super loud or anything like that, and the exhaust just isn't broken in at all. I know that sounds crazy, but that's actually a thing. But it does sound good, and it definitely sounds significantly different than the F80. You know, it's an inline 6 at the end of the day. It's not gonna sound like a V8, so take it with a grain of salt, but I think it's gonna sound good, and I would say, dare I say, better? We'll see, I guess. Alright, you guys, so that little preview of the car, I hope you really enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for way more in-depth and cinematic videos of this car. I just wanted to spend the little time I have of this car after it got PDI'd and inspected over at Elmer's BMW to show you guys what you should be expecting up here on the channel. So that being said, guys, like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you did not. Subscribe would mean the absolute world to me. You can follow me on Instagram at Soulcar Media for all the behind the scenes, and at Kyle Soulcar for just about everything else. So with that being said, guys, thank you so very much for watching. Once again, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.